So yesterday I was scrolling on YouTube and I seen this video pop up in my recommended. It's called "Is Cheating Always Wrong?" And I skimmed through it, and basically what I saw from this video is a bunch of people justifying on whether cheating is good or cheating is bad in a relationship. Now today also happens to be Weird Wednesday. Now for those who do not know what Weird Wednesday is, Weird Wednesday is a day where we take a break from playing video games. Sometimes on this Weird Wednesday we'll do a vlog, a try not to laugh. Sorry, brain fart. We'll do a vlog, try not to laugh. We'll eat each other's noses, boogers. No, sorry, I'm not funny. Yo, you are hilarious. It's a weird day. We take a weird day to sit back, relax, do a little something. Like last week we watched horror films. The week before that we did a TikTok try not to cringe, or I don't even know what we did. It was weird. We didn't play any video games that day, but it was weird. It's a Weird Wednesday. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Gen, and I explore social and controversial issues through both sides. And today I'll be moderating this middle ground episode of Cheaters versus Cheated On. We'll be exploring topics such as the personal experiences of people cheating, the emotional toll that it takes on relationships, and why exactly do people cheat. The first prompt is, I would forgive my partner if they cheated on me.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see your answers too, right? For me, it's a no. It gotta be a no. It depends on the severity of it. Usually men and women have this thing, right? It's different for both. Sometimes a woman will cheat, but they'll cheat emotionally. They won't cheat physically, they'll cheat emotionally. Now men, they like to cheat physically. They don't cheat emotionally because it just works like that. Women like the emotions, men like the physical emotions. You feel me? Now if a woman emotionally cheats on me, gone. If she physically cheats, no cheating is accepted here. I'm not gonna lie, it's not accepted here. No.
Agreeers, please step forward.
Okay. So I would forgive my partner if they cheated on me. Let me see. I want to hear what their responses are.
I feel like from the side of being cheated on, I think the biggest thing to understand is that forgiveness is something that everybody does deserve. I think that once we get into the discussion of why somebody cheated, we can really understand whether or not that person is sympathetic and whether or not that person is somebody that you want to keep around in your life. But I think forgiveness and keeping them in that same relationship are not synonymous. They go separately.
I completely agree. However, I do think that forgiveness is something that we give to ourselves, not necessarily somebody else.
I want to hear how she cheated on. And Keith, bro, you look crazy right now, bro.
So in the event that my husband cheats on me, I would be giving him forgiveness so that I could set myself free from any hostility or anger that I may hold on to in the event.
I think it should benefit both sides in that sense. Now, whether that other person takes it and uses it to their benefit, you can't control that, and it shouldn't be up to you to try and push that. But yes, also making sure that that forgiveness is for yourself as well, so you can move forward, whether it be with that person or alone, and not take that burden on to the next relationship if that relationship
That's a mature response.
I completely agree. And I would forgive because I've been forgiven. So, and I'm a Christian, so I believe in forgiveness. I believe that we should forgive people because we have been forgiven.
You can have short-term forgiveness and long-term forgiveness. And, it's like, are you addressing the root of the issue? And really, if you're truly forgiving, and forgiveness is something that comes with maturity and with life experience, it's the whole circle of forgiveness. You get so much and you release the other person and yourself from anything, and then you can move forward from that point.
One thing that is interesting, though, is that there are 3 people from the cheater side who have sat down, but only 1 on the cheated on.
Yeah, there's a lot of, hey, listen, bro, you could tell who's the whores here, you feel me? Well, the whores, please stand up. I mean, you kind of have to classify cheating, though. What did these, I want to know what they did to justify the responses.
That is interesting.
I guess I'd be curious to hear more so about your guys' experiences, because it seems like in this instance you were cheated on.
Yes.
So I cheated on him.
Yes.
And he forgave me. But I guess I'll let you explain that.
Forgiveness is a step-by-step process. It's not anything that
No
does
way.
happen
They're
instant.
both on the show?
And for us, that was something that we did step by step. And as you said, getting down to the root of it was a big thing, to where all questions have been answered. All things that were left up to an idle mind are no longer there. And so by getting down to the root of it, I can also figure out okay, were there some areas that as a husband, I did not uphold what I needed to be?
That was your wife?
It might have been that you might have felt emotionally you couldn't feel like you can come to me.
So do you feel like you have equal blame in the cheating that occurred?
Can I interrupt? I think that bringing the conversation to the concept of blame, I think you actually kind of have to understand the purpose of blame. And I think that the purpose of blame is to shift responsibility. When I have conversations around cheating.
Bro, I can't believe I'm actually sitting here on a Wednesday afternoon. And cheaters are trying to justify themselves for cheating. Am I fucking tweaking? What's terrible is that they're cheaters. Okay, cool. If you're a cheater, the one thing that you could do is admit to your wrongings. But here you go trying to justify your wrongings. There's no way this is real.
I really like to steer clear of the blame game because the truth is, like, we all played a part. Society included.
What the fuck does society got to fucking do with you cheating? What the fuck does society have to do with you cheating? I'm sorry. It's Wednesday afternoon. Am I tweaking?
Just to go back to kind of the imbalance that we saw there, I'd be curious to hear from the cheated on group first.
There was a few things I heard that I found interesting. One, you said about not using the blame game, and then also when you said about you felt like you may have had something to do with, not being a husband or whatever it may be. And those are things I kind of disagree with in the. Like, I know most of us walk with good intentions in life, right? We're all trying to be a good person, yes? Or maybe not. But at the most part, you start off that way, right? But I guess the way I live my life, I don't give anybody any excuse to do something wrong to me. So if you do something wrong to me, you have to kind of go out of your way to do that. And
I like this brother's perception on it.
This idea that you start saying, well, it must have been something I did. It actually might not have been. It might have been just the other person wasn't where you were at as a human being. And also the other thing I heard was about, forgiving for yourself. I've never understood that statement. They did something wrong, I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna hold any ill will to you, it just happened.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
So I actually agree with the two things you said about the
she's a cheater.
forgiveness. I have never understood that either. I just feel like, for me, if it works for other people, that's great. I actually have found healing in not forgiving people. And I think there's a difference. I think I choose not to forgive them, and then eventually I am indifferent towards them, is what I'm saying. I think there's a difference between not forgiving someone and
but she's the
hating
cheater.
someone.
And I think most of that narrative comes from usually the person who cheated, saying, you forgive for yourself, or like, you never hear it coming from the actual person who got cheated on. And again, to that point, it seems it's always connected to, if you don't forgive, you're holding on to some ill will. No, I just don't think about it. It's done, and I'll just move on with life.
At least for me, I think that it comes back around to honesty. I mean, any of us that were cheated on, I don't think it's any of our responsibility that our partner chose to be dishonest with us about anything. Because even if you assume that, it was something you did, maybe you weren't being open enough, or maybe the conversation wasn't happening that needed to happen, it's still not.
Notice how the people on the left, the ones that got cheated on, notice how they actually are speaking straight facts, opposed to the people that are fucked up. They're sitting here trying to justify how messed up they really are. Like, I could never come up on this show admit if I cheated behind doors. I can't go out there and admit that I cheated. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm somebody who takes accountability for the things I do, but cheating on and coming out there trying to justify your rights and wrongs with cheating is delusion at its finest.
Not your responsibility fully, I don't think. You can't force anyone to be faithful or to be honest or to be true.
Facts.
And that's the interesting part, that somebody gets cheated on, thinks, well, what did I do? Like, they should never think that.
With the early part of our marriage, what I thought a husband was, I go out, I make the check, and I come home and have sex. I'm just being completely honest. I didn't see nothing else emotional that I needed to bring to the table. So that does not make an excuse for somebody to go out and do something. Yes, we should go ahead and have communication. We should try to learn how to grow within this.
Go out. Go out and get the check and come back and have sex is as a husband is a crazy perception. I know, although that is pretty ideal. That's pretty crazy. All right.
I feel like that was the importance of trying to figure out, where did I have any type of flaw as a husband? Because even if we would have decided we're not going to work it out, I don't want to go and keep recreating the same type of marriage.
I just want to say, I think it's really interesting that you're the only person from the cheated on and I was the only person from the cheated side. And speaking from my personal experience, because my partner also used to be a cheater. And we came together and, you know, maybe part of it is just us growing up, you know, or we committed to each other, but we consciously made the decision to grow together, grow separately. And so I think if he were to cheat on me, I would not be able to forgive that, because it's like, well, we promised each other this growth, and we've put all, it would be less about the cheating itself, I think, for me, and more about the breaking the promise of the growth that we've made. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to trust you now?
For my specific experience, it was more of a physical thing. I was a virgin and I wasn't ready to do that yet. And the guy I was with was a couple years older than me, and he went out and did that, and I could never forgive him because the physical thing was something that we could never fix. I wasn't gonna have sex with him, you know? So forgiveness for me was very hard because there was nothing.
Okay, so I'm not a relationship expert here, right? But if you're dating somebody, I think the whole purpose of dating somebody is to find somebody you can commit to within like intimacy, and you know, I don't know, bro. I can't date somebody and not be able to sleep with them, bro. It's like, what am I doing? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, we can have memories, but we might as well be friends. Why are we dating? Well, how could you even say you love me? You never even touched me. You feel me? It's like, I'm not sure why she's on that side. I feel like that's a personal issue that she has to deal with. I'm not saying that, you know what? Oh yeah, you deserve to get cheated on. No, she has some personal issues that I think she should have dealt with before she hopped into a relationship, you know?
Nothing to work on for me. So there was nothing to improve that relationship. So it was over.
I'm just curious, if he had, I have no idea what your relationship was like.
Go for it.
If he had come to you and said, I love you, I care about you, this is something that I really need, how would you feel about, like, you know, allowing him to go out and do that? Or would you like, we should just break up then?
Totally. I mean, I think that I was getting to the point of potentially being ready. But after he did that with someone else, then I was like, okay, no. And I literally did not speak to a man for like 3-4 years. Like, it was a very emotionally traumatizing for me.
Okay,
I was only
so
16.
she had some previous trauma. Are you feeling any better about your ex? Still struggling with it? Even though I hate her for what she did?
Love is so rewarding when it's good, but it's so painful when it's bad. Even when you know you've been wronged. As time passes,
I suppose being sexual enough, despite the communication. Cheated on twice in the past year. Worse. I've been cheated on twice in the past year. The first was physical, the second was emotional. And to me, well, I don't want to bring it back to Jillian while she's standing over there, but we were talking about like the concept of virginity, and she was only 16. Like, the physical cheating aspect, I was cheated on because I wasn't, I suppose, being sexual enough, despite the communication that we had going on. I was just kind of being lied to the whole time. But emotionally, for me, that's what relationships are built on. So lying about something like that, or like having someone else on the side that you're giving those parts of you to, when I truly just want to like know the inner depths of like your being, because we are in a relationship, it's just worse to me.
You hesitated to come up.
Hesitated to come up because I think the word worse is like, it implies that there is a level of significance to whether you act on it or not. And I think ultimately cheating comes down to managing your own thought life. And as far as what you said about you not meeting his physical needs, I'd like to...
It was her, but yeah.
Oh, her,
Same.
sorry?
You're
Sorry.
good, same deal.
I'd love to shirk that off of you, because what somebody else does in life is a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. So like, as far as the, oh, I didn't meet physical needs of my partner, I think you can't really say that, because if they weren't vocal about it, right?
Absolutely, which is like, that was
the first
main
thing that
reason,
she
and one of the only reasons
that's
that we
smart.
broke up, and I called it off, and I was still never apologized to. It was never acknowledged that it even happened.
Yeah.
Because that betrayal was so tangent, it was a lot easier for me to let go of it. But having like a deep emotional connection with someone, I like tried again with an ex, and then I ended up getting emotionally cheated on. I had much more of a deeper investment in the character of that person, and I cared very deeply about where we were going in life and how we were growing together, and to sort of have that growth cut off, you know, is something different entirely. I do like what you said though about using the word worse and like how
there's like
Yeah.
a level of significance to betrayal, whether it's actually executed with your body or not.
Yeah.
I think that
It's still betrayal.
yeah, it's still a betrayal, right?
So I have a long history of cheating, unfortunately, and I have both physically cheated and emotionally cheated. The way my various partners responded was different. I don't think that it's fair to say one is worse than the other.
Yeah, I kind of agree, because at first I was standing back there, I'm like, physical has to be worse, but then I'm like, everybody has a different standard or different experience.
Right. Can we? This is what I'm saying. Like, there's no way somebody would come up there and openly admit, yeah. Long story short, I've done it multiple times. Yeah, I am a whore.
I can't say what's worse for somebody else, what maybe for me. The other thing is, I don't understand, I'm not sure I even know what emotional cheating actually
Thank you.
is.
That's what
I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is
what is
emotional cheating?
What that means at all.
So emotional cheating, like when, let's say, you're going to someone and talking to them about the problems in your relationship, and they're offering that advice, they're offering you comfort.
They're giving you everything that you want.
Yeah, that you're desiring at that point.
Yeah.
When you're actually supposed to be going to your spouse or to the person that you're with.
I agree with you, but I would take that a step further and say you can emotionally cheat and like they not know about your spouse or your partner. Like it's about having a relation, like you're talking to them with the way you talk to your partner. Because I have my my high school sweetheart. I was in love with someone else. I was in love with two people at the same time. It was very complicated. But before anything ever physically happened, I was emotionally cheating on my boyfriend at the time because I was talking to this guy like he was my boyfriend too, even though we weren't together. You know, and I know people who have divorced, who have left their marriages because it was like, well, I've fallen in love with someone else, even though we've never done anything physical. Whereas by that same token, you can also have like a one-night stand and it be purely physical and not emotional cheating at all.
It's funny because like it seemed like you're describing when you're trying to get to know about somebody because you want to date them. So that's why it's kind of like really.
Let me help you.
Yeah, it's kind of like confusing me.
Emotional cheating begins when you have a relationship with somebody that your partner is not aware of.
Okay.
And
A
the
romantic
depth-
relationship.
Yeah.
So for me,
Why'd she say it like that?
I think lots of things. I look at lots of people. I expect that whoever I'm with is thinking whatever they're thinking while they're looking at people. And relationships that we all have with each other, you know, for me, like my girlfriends and I've been cheated on and cheated, and it's all complex and complicated and based on a case-per-case basis. Until they take action, some kind of action where they're physically engaging with another person, they're not cheating on me as far as I'm concerned because they're living life as a human being and they're just feeling and thinking and
this brother's lost.
fantasizing and doing all the things that we all
Fantasizing
do because
about
we're
what?
human beings. And
Taking
that's
dick?
what we do.
And that's how you feel.
Yeah,
about it.
That's how I feel about it. That's why I said it about 3 or 4
As
times.
someone who has cheated, did you feel, if you've ever felt some type of way, whether it be guilt or anything, did you feel worse about emotionally cheating or physically cheating?
I've never emotionally cheated. I'm a human being and I live my life. And if I think something or I have a relationship with her where I'm telling her about my relationship and I'm falling in love with her, that's okay. I can feel that. But until I do something about it, I haven't cheated. I haven't done anything to my partner.
I've been cheated on multiple times, you know? So it's just like, and it's always been like a physical thing and it's really hurt me.
shocked.
And that's why I think the physical is worse for me personally than maybe the emotional would be, but I can totally see both sides. Because emotional is, but emotional is difficult too. But for me, the thing that sets my like romantic relationship apart from a best friendship is the intimate, physical stuff. For me, I can have tight relationships with other guys, but I'm not gonna go sleep with them because I'm not romantically involved.
Oh, I'm still very close with my high school sweetheart.
Totally.
We're very good friends.
Yes, and I have exes too that I can be like, we're chill, you know, but I'm not gonna go hook up with you in the car, like, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
and we have that trust. Like I
yeah.
said, I think at the end of the day, it's situational. It's for some people, emotional cheating might be worse. For some people, physical cheating might be worse. For some people, it's the same.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next prompt.
Okay. Please.
I would date someone who cheated on others in the past.
Hell yeah. I mean, nah. Hell nah, bro. This delusion, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This show pissed me off. I'm sitting here thinking and listening to people justifying on what cheating is and if it's okay or not okay. On a Wednesday. Now, I'm going to skip to this part, right? It's not always the cheater's fault when they cheat.
I can think of one instance where I would say it's not the cheater's fault. If someone is in an abusive situation and maybe they don't feel safe to leave the relationship, I could understand why, and maybe even like they've fallen for someone else, they use that as an excuse to get out of the relationship. I would still say it stems from within, for sure, but that would be the one instance in which I would say I could totally understand like where the cheating came from, that you're not safe.
I think that I have read too many accounts of women and men being taken advantage of and being put into a situation where there really is no choice. So a lot of the women that I counsel are in domestic violence households, and a lot of them have been threatened with murder if they chose to leave the relationship. And so what ends up happening is all of a sudden you're at work and you are having a conversation with a male colleague who exhibits genuine care for you and your situation. It's almost impossible to stop the inertia of love from being able to take that person out of the situation.
If I have to play devil's advocate, do you think replacing something that can be considered negative with another negative makes it right?
It's difficult to compare like one sin to another, but I think that at the end of...
Bro, if you are in a domestic violence, in a domestic abusive relationship where somebody is threatening you, that if you leave, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Then I think it's, bro, I don't think, this is where I get a little twisted. If that person is already trying to kill you for just leaving, imagine what he'll do to you if he catches you cheating. What makes you think fighting with fire is an okay thing to do? Like, that fire ain't gonna be put out. With fire, you're like literally sparking up the fire as it's already firing up.
They're making that choice. That's always gonna be worse to me.
I also think that truth and reality really don't give a about right or wrong. So it's kind of like, why would I be so obsessed with labeling somebody else's decision that ultimately resulted in their safety?
Yeah, might make them safer.
Right, cheating makes them safer. Get a load of this
I believe
shit.
wrong is wrong. I do. I believe that two wrongs don't make right.
Thank you.
There's no way. Like, I just...
Thank you.
That's just my personal belief. I don't think that...
But what if that person is not safe to leave?
Then...
Bro, what the fuck? What do you mean not safe to leave? What makes you think? I'm listening to somebody justifying cheating.
Okay, so, but they're okay to cheat.
Wait, it's not a question of okay.
I think that it's without partiality. Like, I can't sit here and say that somebody is right for cheating based off of...
right. We just said
Or
not
they're okay
Not wrong.
to be able to cheat based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship. If you are in an abusive relationship, get the heck out.
But what if you can't? It's not always that
Then
simple.
how is it that no one is able to tell me?
You gotta talk to some girls.
Yeah, okay,
My question would be,
calm down.
so
I just want to know. I'm asking the question because you're saying that someone can sit there and cheat on someone based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship.
Thank you. She's spitting.
Where does that come? Like, how does that make that okay or
Eat
make
her
it
up!
right? Where does that come?
It's not a black and white thing, and I think we keep coming to that. I don't think anybody is saying like it's okay. I think we're just saying it's not okay, and it's in the middle.
But I believe in yes or no and okay or not
Right,
okay,
and
right or wrong.
I think
Where
some
is
of us
that?
are thinking black and white, and some of us just aren't those kinds of people, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not open about that.
But I'm not saying that being unsafe in an abusive relationship makes it okay to cheat. What I'm saying is that someone might use forming a relationship with another person as a safety net, because now you have somebody else to go to. Because I think a lot of people don't realize, but the abuse actually kicks up after you leave the relationship. It gets worse because the person who is abusing you will stalk you, will chase you, will blow up your phone, will show up at your house. It is very dangerous for people, I'm not gonna gender it, for people who are leaving abusive situations, it gets more dangerous. And so cheating, forming another relationship with somebody, may actually help that person find safety.
My question would be like, how would it help them find safety if the relationship is already abusive? I would think that would anger the person more.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, bro, if you are cheating on me and I'm already going to kill you for leaving me, let me find out you cheat. Bro, me and you both going out this world, and your family too. I'm putting my shoes from somebody, you feel me? Like, this just pissed me off.
It doesn't matter though. That's what I'm saying.
It's the disclosing
something
of
to
the
say.
internal reality.
We are all humans in our bodies, and you have a right to feel comfortable in your body and to feel safe. And whether or not you have to make a decision that makes you immoral or whatever in order to protect your safety, that is okay in my eyes. I don't think about right and wrong. I was raised in the church, so I was drilled a lot about black
I'm
and white.
not listening to this, guys. I can't.
My dad was a pastor. Crazy.
I know we brought up
This
specifics
is
and everything,
delusion.
but I think if we're just looking at the specific prompt in itself, I think that there's always a choice. There's always a choice. I understand, maybe if someone's under the influence and, I can see how that could be literally blurred. But I think in general, if someone's sober,
cheating is a choice.
is a choice.
No, I agree.
And I
sometimes
think
it's life or
that's
death.
where, and I think that's where we can put the fault on that person because they made that conscious decision.
But what is
and
the purpose of assigning fault?
well, I mean, I'm not saying there's any purpose. That wasn't the prompt.
Yeah.
Like the prompt was
if
like
you're
that
going
the
off
person
prompt
is at
itself,
fault.
then
Boil it
she's
down.
answering
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to get
But my
deeper.
point, but
No, I understand. I
about
love
the
that.
squabble?
It's still that choice to where you have to have the accountability held for you. I think that's where it's important to have the right or wrong,
Yes.
regardless of whether we think it's black or white. Yes, I feel like if we do not have an objective choice of what is right, what is wrong, then we should just be in a world that's a free-for-all and jail's emptied out. No judicial system. The thought process in my mind, I know it was brought up that, okay, that may be their only way out of the relationship. But then it was later brought up that sometimes getting out of the relationship is the worsening part. So if you're leaning towards getting out the relationship anyway, are you going to
No,
create
what I
more
meant
havoc?
is that you have a safe haven now that somebody, which is also might lead to more toxic situations, but I just mean if you are so desperate to get out of a relationship and you know that abuse is gonna crank up as soon as you leave, now I have somebody else to protect me.
Bro, that's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. You about to get, that's like 3 bodies right there in alone. You about to get that man killed. But that man just liked you. You didn't even tell him nothing about what's going on. My thing is this, right? If you love somebody, all right, or you did love somebody at one point, I think it's fair out of your love that you did have for that person that you let them know that, you know what, I ain't even gonna break your heart. I ain't gonna break your feelings. Let's just end this relationship because I'm not happy with where I'm at. Instead of, you feel me, trying to look for a back burner or hold 2 people up at the same time. Oh yeah, well I like him because, he's got this, and I like him because he got this, or I like her. I think that's you playing mind games at that point. At that point, you might as well just give yourself up. You just go heal, bro. Go heal. You don't need either one of them. Listen, that's gonna wrap it up, you beautiful people. All right. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'm gonna see y'all hopefully tomorrow. Okay. Short little weird Wednesday. I hope y'all enjoyed it though. I love y'all. Take care. Goodbye.